Hi guys, today I made this Mexican salsa and it was so delicious. Super healthy, fat-free, gluten-free and vegan. And if you ever bring this to a party, you'll definitely be invited back. Trust me, you'll never buy the stuff in the jar again. Start off with a large dry frying pan. Don't add any oil to it, you don't need it at all. And to the pan I'm going to add 2 of these beef steak tomatoes that I got in the farmer's market recently, but you could use plum tomatoes or even a pile of cherry tomatoes if you like. Then I added 1 fresh red chilli, 4 fat cloves of garlic with the skin on. Next I took 1 small onion, but first I peeled it and sliced it really thickly before adding it to the pan as well. Then turn the heat onto high and wait for these ingredients to char and blister. They'll all take a different amount of time, the tomatoes taking the longest, so keep an eye on them and check the underside every so often. Once they've just started to blacken, just turn them over to blacken them on all sides. This will give them a really nice smoky flavour. Make sure to leave the garlic in the skins though, because that'll stop it from burning. And it'll really mellow in flavour and go almost sweet. Just take them out when they're charred on all sides, they'll be the first to be finished. Just set them aside on a plate until later. Then I removed the onion slices when they were just charred enough. Then a small bit later I took out the red chilli. Then I leaned the tomatoes on the side of the pan to get those beautiful char marks on all the sides. Once they're charred enough to your liking and good and soft, just take them out and set them aside. Then once they've cooled slightly, you should be able to peel the garlic with just your fingers and squeeze out the really soft cloves from within. And just add them to a pestle and mortar. Once they're all in there, then cut the stem off the chili, and if you like, you can slice it down the middle and scrape out the seeds to take some of that fire out of it. I did remove them because I'm a total wuss when it comes to chili heat. Now add the de-seeded chilies to the pestle mortar with the garlic. Add a good pinch of sea salt flakes to create friction in the pestle mortar. That'll really help grind everything up. And now just bash it really well until you get a pretty smoothish paste. Now added the charred onions and bash them really well again until they're totally incorporated. This is kind of difficult. It might be easier if you slice them up first, but this is the more authentic way, and all salsas should have a certain amount of chunkiness to them. Now add the tomatoes one at a time, bashing the first one up before you add the second. You could use a food processor for this if you liked, but you would never get that chunky consistency that is so important. Now set it aside for just a second while you take a small bunch of coriander, or cilantro you might know this as if you're in the States, and chop it up really finely. You want to aim roughly for about 2 tablespoons of chopped coriander, and I'm using the stalks and everything. Now just take a lime and cut it in half. Add the chopped coriander to the salsa, give it a quick mix, and squeeze in the juice from half the lime. You might have safer ways of juicing a lime than this, but this is the easiest for me and there's less washing up. Now give it a really good stir to incorporate everything, and give it a little taste to check for seasoning, and if needs be, add another bit of sea salt flakes. Then just set it aside until it's cooled completely and you're ready to serve. You can just serve it in the pestle and mortar if you like, or in a molcajete if you have one. Though I'm going to transfer it to this funky looking serving bowl. And next to it, I'm going to serve a bowl full of corn tortillas. While these were vegan and gluten-free, they are not the healthiest, so if you want a healthy option, you could serve it with some Mexican crudité. If you're lucky enough to have some sunshine, I think nothing's better than eating these al fresco with a cold drink. Here I'm having a rhubarb gin and tonic. I'll put that recipe in the description below. Thanks many for watching, guys. I hope you give this recipe a go yourselves. If you did like this recipe, hit the like and subscribe buttons below. You can check me out on social media if you like. You'll find all the links to my accounts in the description, as well as the link to my blog where you'll find this full recipe at www.rookiecook.org.